up? What's good? And today I'm back with another video. Today I am doing another conspiracy theories video, and this one is about Disney movies. Not much to say about this one, let's just hop right into the video. So the first theory is that Emily, Jesse's owner from Toy Story 2, is actually Andy's mom. It says, you may remember Jesse's owner Emily from Toy Story 2, and probably bald when she dumped Jesse in the donation bin. But is it possible that she grew up to be Andy's mom? When Andy is playing with Woody in the original Toy Story, he's actually wearing a Jesse hat, not a Woody hat. Did he inherit that hat from his mom? And does he own those vintage toys because Emily's reliving her childhood via the Roundup gang? Also, Emily's childhood room decor was 1960s Flower Power, and Toy Story came out in 1965, which would make Emily in her 30s. Perfect age to have a 6-year-old. I believe it. I mean, not much to say about that. I believe it. I believe Emily from Toy Story 2 as the little kid grew up to be Andy's mom. The second theory is that Boo from Monsters, Inc. is actually the witch in Brave. It says, this one treads some sci-fi turf, but bear with us. Get it? Bear. Brave. Okay. Anyways, the witch from Brave magically disappears when she goes through doorways, something the scares from Monsters, Inc. can do too. Is it possible Boo learned a trick or two from her bestie Sully? Of course, Brave takes place hundreds of years before Monsters, Inc. But if Boo can teleport through doors, it would make sense that she can also move through time a bit. Before you dismiss this theory, check out the carvings in the witch's woodshop. There's a carving of Sully in there, even though he won't exist for a few more centuries. I don't believe this theory because Boo and the witch are from different centuries within the movies, but Sully being in Brave on one of the carvings is just probably an Easter egg between the movies because Pixar puts Easter eggs in Brave, and Monsters, Inc. are both Pixar movies. The third theory is that Inside Out's Bing Bong is actually a monster from Monsters, Inc. It says, Inside Out may have given the illusion of being nothing but laughs, but anyone who's seen it knows it's a total heartbreaker. The saddest part of the movie is easily when Bing Bong sacrificed himself so that Joy can save Riley. And even though it was completely necessary, a little piece of you died inside. But if this theory is believed, that gut-wrenching moment isn't as sad as it seemed. Many fans theorize that Bing Bong is actually a monster from the Monsters, Inc. world, who used to visit Riley when she was younger, much like Sully visited Boo. If this is true, that means just the memory of Bing Bong died and not Bing Bong himself. I believe this theory. I'm a true believer of Monsters, Inc. I love Monsters, Inc. so much. So, I believe it. Okay. Next theory. The fourth theory is that the King of Arendelle is actually Rapunzel's uncle, and magic only affects the blonde children in the family. It says, baby Rapunzel and Elsa were both blonde. If Elsa's dad was Rapunzel's mom's brother, then it would explain why he would want to hide Elsa's powers. His niece was kidnapped for her powers, after all, by Mother Gothel, aka Rapunzel was kidnapped, and she was hidden in the tower. Since both of these magical girls are blonde, it makes sense to say that magic has to do with a blonde trait. And an example is that Anna, Elsa's sister, did not get any powers. It makes sense. They could be related. You never know. The last theory is that Frozen, Tangled, and The Little Mermaid are all correlated. Here's how. The directors of Frozen confirmed during an interview that Elsa and Anna's parents were indeed heading to a wedding when their boat sank. According to Chris, however, they didn't die on the boat. They washed up on the shore of a jungle, and the queen later gave birth to a baby boy and built a treehouse before getting eaten by a leopard. Sound familiar? That's the beginning of the movie Tarzan. So if this theory is correct, Tarzan is the son of the king and queen of Arendelle and the long-lost brother of Elsa and Anna. The way that The Little Mermaid ties into this is that the shipwreck that Ariel explores is located in Denmark, which is smack in the middle between Norway, where Frozen takes place, and Germany, where Tangled takes place, which can only mean one thing, that the shipwreck that Ariel explores in The Little Mermaid might be the ship that sank from Elsa's parents. I believe it. I don't know. I just do. Okay. And that's all for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a thumbs up and subscribe down below. And if this is the first time seeing my face, also subscribe down below and push the little bell to turn your notifications on so you are notified every time that I post, which is every week. And stay connected. Bye. See you next week.